Despite an up and down season on the field so far, Florida still boasts a top 5 recruiting class, and some of their commits are absolutely crushing on Friday night right now. Now, let me put a huge preface on this. I know we get labeled as a positive channel here, and we're not doing this video to sunshine pump or to distract you from what is going on in Gainesville. This isn't a help is on the way video at all. And some of you aren't going to be ready for a video that is telling you how bright the future is in Gainesville. And if that's you, just go ahead and put a pin in this, circle back to it in a couple of days when you've calmed down from the weekend. But just because we aren't happy with the result on the field on Saturday doesn't mean that I'm going to miss an opportunity to show some love to the high school kids who are getting it done this fall. We were told by On3's Charles Power this summer that the very most important factor when ranking a kid was their senior season. He said it was far more important than how they did in shorts at camp during 7-on-7s. In fact, we have that clip right here.
So it's a lot of that, and it's setting the table for the senior year. And the senior year for us is the biggest evaluation point for the majority of prospects. It's, in my years of doing this, it's by far the best indicator of long-term potential, the type of college player they're going to be, and what we ultimately judge it on, which is the NFL draft. How they play takes precedence. Now, I think we put more precedence into the senior season. So junior year, you can see a lot of progression from junior year to senior year. And I think seeing these guys in person in the camp setting helps kind of contextualize what you see on film. Like a guy like DJ Lagway, if DJ Lagway has a truly dominant senior season from start to finish, like he's going to push to be a 5-star. He has all the physical tools.
We hope On3 and Charles Power are ready to put their money where their mouth is, because some of the Gator commitments are just absolutely going off this season. There is probably nobody's ranking that we are monitoring closely than incoming quarterback DJ Lagway. He is putting together a senior season for the history books. So let's talk just about his week 5 first, and then I'll tell you all about how he's doing cumulatively so far this season. Last week, 14 of 17, 338 yards, and 8 touchdowns. That is incredibly impressive on its face, but he didn't play the whole game. He's got an 82% completion percentage for that game, no interceptions. He also carried the ball 4 times for 67 yards. That's a 6.8 yard per carry average there. It's crazy. 267 of those yards and 6 touchdowns were in the first quarter. He is absolutely slicing and dicing every team that he has seen so far this season. On the season, he's 112 for 150. He's got 1,930 yards and 31 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions. That is insane. He is completing 75% of his passes. Oh, by the way, he's also pretty good with his feet too. 41 attempts for 333 yards, 5 touchdowns. That's a season average so far of 8.1 yards a carry. Lagway is a phenom. He is crushing his senior season. And I just cannot wait to see what Charles Power does with his rankings if senior season is really supposed to be the largest variable. You cannot help but think DJ is moving on up. Don't forget, he is the number 3 quarterback and the number 20 recruit in the class of 2024, according to 247's composite rankings. He is such a stud. And, he's surrounded by so many people that are really helping develop him the right way. On this show, we did an interview with his private quarterback coach, JP Tillman, and with his head coach, Trent Miller. Both of those guys are so humble, so calming. They have nothing but incredible things to say, not only about Lagway's on-the-field performance, but the type of human being he is, the type of family he comes from, the type of leader he is in the locker room, the type of friend he is to his teammates. The Gators are getting a really good one here, guys. I don't like to compare to guys that we've had before, but, humble quarterbacks that put up huge numbers and are great with their feet, have a great relationship with the Lord. We've had a few of those here in Gainesville, and it's worked out pretty well for them. before I go on to the next recruit that I want to talk about, if you have enjoyed this content, if you have liked the breaking news that we've brought you over the last few months, if you like the info on the recruits, feedback on the games, positive or negative, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. We have a goal of hitting 10,000 subs by the Florida State game. It is a lofty one for sure, but I think we can get it. So do me a favor, hit the subscribe button right now. The next recruit I want to focus on is Isaiah Williams. He had a sick 58-yard catch on Friday night. He adjusted to this pass was thrown behind him, broke a tackle, then ran the 58 yards for a touchdown. It was incredible. He is putting up some awesome highlights on Friday nights. He's going to do the same thing in a Gator jersey next year. He is 6 foot, 175-pound wide receiver, a 4-star according to 247's composite rankings, and he's a top 300 kid according to On3. He is one of those dual sport athletes, which I have talked a lot about on this channel. He runs track. He's a 10.94 in the 100-meter dash. That is smoking. And this season's kind of been a little bit of a redemption year for him because he was injured last year. He's having a very strong season for Carrollwood Day School. That school they beat CCC last week. They've been really putting up some points, putting up some numbers, beating some of the bigger powerhouse teams in Tampa. And I cannot wait until Williams gets to Gainesville. He's quick. He can definitely be a deep threat. And his game is continually improving and growing. He's got great hands. He's got really good breaks and moves just so effortlessly. He's also bulked up a little bit since we saw him last year as well. He is a very talented and very quick wide receiver who is going to be a real weapon in this offense as soon as he gets to Gainesville. Another recruit I want to focus on, Amir Jackson. We have some wild footage of what I'm going to tell you is arguably the catch of the year in high school football. Guys, take a look at this.
Competitive and balanced. So Portal from Georgia in, and the Panthers have some talent. Check this catch, maybe the catch of the season by Amir Jackson. Don't worry, I'm going to show you it again because this is one heck of a grab for the touchdown. There is a reason that guy.
Amir Jackson is 6'5". He's a 210-pound tight end from Portal, Georgia. He's the number 6 tight end in the country according to 247 composite rankings. And he is just a phenomenal athlete. Also plays basketball and is very, very good there as well. He averaged like a double-double his junior season. He is a stud athlete. He has a great frame, really, really good size. This is something that you can't wait till he gets into a real college strength and conditioning program because you can't change somebody's frame, right? But you sure as heck can bulk him up, puts more muscle on him, and he just has the frame to be a real beast on the field. His length and wingspan are exactly what you are going to look for in your prototypical tight end. He moves very well. He's really fluid. And as you saw in that video, his willingness to go get after the ball is really impressive. Another guy that is just crushing it on Friday nights. Another guy I can't wait to see in orange and blue because Florida has been doing pretty darn well with their running backs lately is Kanan Daniels. In week 5, he had 121 yards and a touchdown. But more impressive than just that, over the last 5 games of his senior season, 1,108 yards rushing and 15 rushing touchdowns. Those are some Madden numbers for sure. He is a 4-star running back according to On3 industry rankings, a top 300 kid as well according to their rankings, and the number 20 overall running back in the 2024 class. Listen, Billy Napier knows what he's doing with running backs. He has a way of evaluating talent, bringing them in, developing them. Look at what Florida's got going on right now with Johnson and Etienne. You know Daniels wants that, right? He wants to be the guy. He wants to be in an offense that is going to always have featured and marquee backs. He's getting that by coming to Gainesville. But looking at the product he's putting on the field on Friday nights has to get Gator fans excited. All right, another guy I want to talk about, Xavier Filsaime. 5-star guy, top 5 safety in the country. And listen, it is tough to find a bunch of stats or, really impressive numbers to look at for a safety. So instead, I'm just going to show you 2 plays where he is making a massive impact. Check out the first play where he goes step for step with 5-star Taylor Tatum and impacts his ability to catch a touchdown. This might be my favorite clip that we've shown. Here is Filsaime absolutely rocking the ball carrier and forcing a massive fumble that his team gets back on. We will continue to monitor our recruits throughout the season, and we obviously wish them nothing but the absolute best of luck as their high school seasons continue. Make sure you're locked in with the channel as we continue to bring a ton of content throughout the season. We appreciate your support, and go Gators.